This is Gabriella, who is 7.5 years of age, and she has very kindly agreed to come in so that we can show you some of the tests that we do for the reflexes and also some of the balance walks. So Sally, if you'd like to start off by looking at what we call the asymmetrical tonic neck reflex test devised by a neuropsychiatrist in the United States called Schilder.
Right, Gabriella, would you like to come and stand facing this way? That's lovely. Feet together, hands, arms out in front of you, shoulder height, wrists nice and floppy as if you've got two limp rags hanging at the end. That's lovely. And what I'd like you to do, if you can, is keep your arms straight out in front of you like mine are while I turn your head. But close your eyes so you can't see what you're doing.
And what we're looking for is to see, can Gabriella actually keep her arms out in front when the head is turned to the right, or does it go out slightly, like it did? And now to the left. And we'll do it twice slowly, and then once quite quickly. Back it comes to the midline, and now to the right. And now you can see it again. She's correcting it by trying to straighten her hand. Lovely. Now to the left. And very quickly all the way around to the right. Boom. There it is.
Good girl.
Good girl.
Put your arms down. The other thing that's also interesting to notice is the effect that it has on balance as her head is moved to the point where the reflex is activated. So her balance also becomes involved.
There is another test for the asymmetrical tonic neck reflex, which is very popularly used in the United States, called the Ayres test, named after a PhD occupational therapist, a physiotherapist in San Diego called Jean Ayres. So if you would like to put Gabriella down onto hands and knees.
I'd like to come onto hands and knees, head this way, that's right, so that you're like a table, nice and square. Good girl. And all I'm going to do is turn your head one way and then the other, all right?
But you keep your arms straight if you can.
Okay. To this side.
And what we're looking for is to see, does the back of the head arm bend? And if it does, how much does it bend? I mean, it bends quite strongly in the right.
And once again.
There it goes now, and you see it.
Good.
There she's adjusting her body to try and stop it from bending. So that would be a test which would tell us that the asymmetrical tonic neck reflex is still present. More, by the way, when the head was turned to the left, when the head was turned to the right. We would never just use one test by itself. We would use 3 or 4 tests on the asymmetrical tonic neck reflex. Now, while Gabriella is in that position, Sally, perhaps you'd like to check for the spinal Gallant reflex. If you remember, this is the reflex which causes ants in the pants in the classroom. That's right. Okay, just keep as still as you can, Lau.
Keep your body straight, bring your head up to there. Okay,
and we do
all I'm
use
going to do is very gently
nice
stroke
and
that.
still,
Whoops,
don't
there it is
tighten
already.
up.
There, you can actually see that
The
inclination
curve.
of the spine.
So the spine curves to a 40, that's
Less so on that side.
left, but look at, there it is on the left,
On
very
that side,
strongly.
Very strong, good girl.
Marvellous.
Well done.
That should not be present above, what, 11 months at the very latest. I mean, ideally months before that. So we can see that strong curve when the left side of the spine is stimulated. The hip goes out to 45. Not the arching which you saw when Mummy tested on the other side. Okay, right. So now what is the next one we want to...
TLR.
Yes, let's have a look at the tonic labyrinthine reflex. We test this in 2 test positions, but we will show you the most interesting, called the tonic labyrinthine erect test.
Come and stand up again. Facing this way, good girl, feet together, hands by your side. And what I'd like you to do is put your head all the way back as if you were going to count the cracks on the ceiling. Close your eyes. Now I'm going to let go and I'd like you to hold that position for a few moments if you can. Now, keeping your eyes closed, I want you to very slowly move your head forward as if you're looking at your toes. Good girl. And then all the way back again.
Up to the ceiling. And what we're
And
looking for,
forwards.
down again, please.
Whoops.
Does she lose her balance
And all the
when
way back
rotating
again.
her head upwards or backwards?
Now
And
you
there
can
we
actually
see this,
the-
trying to compensate down once, there we are, and the loss of balance. The 7.5-year-old who does not
Well done.
have a tonic
Open your
labyrinthine reflex
Good girl.
will be able to maintain their balance. Thank you very much, Gabriella. The next one, which we can look at,
Moro?
a Moro Reflex.
Okay.
Okay, would you like to face that way, Gabriella?
Face that way, feet together. Let me just take my watch off. Arms up like that, let them bend. Wrists nice and floppy, head back. Close your eyes, and when I snap my fingers, I want you to fall like a log back into my arms, and I promise I will catch you. Head back, wait for it.
Right. We do
Good girl.
two tests for the Moro. Thank you very much, Gabriella. We do
Seated.
two tests for the Moro Reflex. We do a standard test and then the erect test. And what we do is we place the arms into that position, put the head back. Because if there is what is called a vestibular, a balance activated Moro Reflex, when we snap the fingers and Gabriella drops back, out goes the arms.
Gabriella's didn't.
It didn't. No, that was fine with Gabriella. But what we must also realise is that the Moro Reflex, which should not be present in its crude form, should not be present above the age of 4 months, can be activated by sound. So quite often when the child's lying on the floor in the Moro position, we'll make a loud noise and the child then goes, or quite often if something moves very quickly. So what you've seen is only one test out of a battery. And these are only a few of the reflex tests that we do here. The whole test procedure will last approximately 2 hours, 10 minutes. And we'll look at balance and coordination.